Oh my goodness, the punches to the chest just keep on coming. Cyberpunk 2077 has just been delayed again. And on top of that, we also have some information regarding to whatever happened to Skull and Bones, the game by Ubisoft that was supposed to come out since 2018. Get ready, folks. Platform Gamer Podcast starts right now. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining me here on the podcast today. It is November 2nd, 2020. We got a great show for you guys today. We got a couple of, one main delay, and then we have a game that we haven't heard from in a long time. So I want to kind of backtrack and see, kind of give some information on what happened with that game. Make sure if you have listened to us and have watched us here on YouTube, thank you guys so much. We appreciate all of the views that you've been giving us. The episode that we did talking about the potential of GameStop employees potentially scalping PlayStations, you guys really rocked those views. We had 273 views. That is huge. And we'd like to get more than that. And not just for that video, but for all of our videos. So it is greatly appreciated. So thank you guys so much for supporting us. A lot of our videos have been starting to kind of pick up steam a little bit. So it's been really, really great. And it's been nice kind of hearing some of the feedback from some of you guys, whether it was good or bad. But either way, we love hearing from you guys, and we really, really appreciate you guys supporting this channel, supporting us and what we do here at Platform Gamer Podcast. And you can continue that support by making sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Platform Gamer Podcast. Make sure you turn on that bell for all notifications and smash that like button. And don't forget to leave a comment, because comments are so wonderful. We love hearing that feedback from you guys. And like I said, that when you hit that like button, it really helps push our channel to get out there so more people can watch us. So we greatly appreciate that. Follow us on Twitter here at Platform Gamer P1, and also on Instagram at Platform Gamer P1, where you can find some of our latest tweets and Instagram posts that we put up. Also, you can check us out on Facebook. Like us there as well, and that's where we mainly put all of our information of anything that's been going on in the gaming community and in the world of gaming. So when you go onto our Facebook page at Platform Gamer Podcast, you should be able to see everything that we try and post up there, hopefully. I haven't been getting a lot of feedback, but it's been nice kind of seeing some people, kind of seeing it branch out and get into some of you guys. But we want to definitely make sure we continue to push those platforms as well. If you want to listen to us on audio form, we are available on Podbean and Spotify. And I am hopefully, crossing my fingers, looking to get us on some other audio podcast areas, or some other way you can listen to us in audio form. So audio form is a great way when you're on the go, whether you're outside working, you're inside working, or just going for a jog, working out, cleaning the house, doing dishes, whatever you're doing, and you want to listen to us in audio form, we got you. So make sure you check us out on that at Platform Gamer Podcast. You can find us on Spotify into the search engine, and also through the Podbean search engine, and just type in Platform Gamer Podcast. Now, getting right down to brass tacks here, ladies and gentlemen, because I really do want to get into this first story, and this is kind of a big one. So we all knew that Cyberpunk was slated to come out on November 19th. That was pretty much the secondary slated date after its first delay, which I do believe it was supposed to come out. I want to say it was September. It was either September, it might have been April. I can't remember, but I know it had got pushed to November. and it was like basically like the following week when the all the new consoles, the next gen consoles were released. So you would have had an opportunity, to own that game on those platforms. But unfortunately, Cyberpunk 2077 has been delayed yet again. The new release date for 2077 has now been pushed to December 10th. Now, there's been a lot of reports and news articles about what has been happening. And basically, it's not really bad, troubling news. I think pretty much the PC version is completely ready to go. The PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X, those versions are also ready to go. And I also do believe that the PlayStation 4s, I want to say, is ready to go. But the problem that we've been hearing, and this is coming straight from CD Projekt Red, is that they were having some issues with the frame rates for the current gen consoles. Now, I don't think it's so much PlayStation as it is Xbox One. And we're not talking Xbox One X or S. We're talking about the original Xbox One. I think a lot of it has to do with the inferior components that it has inside of it. And it's really bugging out the frame rate. But this is okay. This is completely okay, because with this delay, that just means that when it does come out, especially for anybody that still owns a current gen and they do want to continue to support the current gen, this gives you that opportunity to still be able to play that game on your current gen consoles. But they just want to make sure that everything's perfect, that everything runs well, runs smoothly without any hiccups. So the delay is very much warranted, and it helps. And it's gonna really make, because everybody knows they've been foaming at the mouth for this game. Even I've been foaming. I've been waiting patiently to play this game, and I really want to own it for my PlayStation. But this is where the issue comes in, because when this news dropped, a couple of big things happened. Number one, the developers faced some serious backlash from some people in the gaming community. And to the point that they've received death threats. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all straight up, I am not a fan of stuff like that. Why are you sending death threats to a developer who's just trying to make sure that the game that they send you runs at its absolute best? I don't understand why you guys do that. That is the stupidest thing. First of all, we all know you're not going to actually do it, because you're not risking to go to jail over a game. Otherwise, you'd be really, really dumb. I mean, let's just call it what it is. You'd be really, really dumb. And then secondly, you guys don't want to have to make this into a huge issue, because what if they've got stuff going on with their families and things like that? Now they're having to delay that just so they can work on this game to make sure that it goes out for you properly. They're putting in all this hard work and this time, and then you guys want to up and make death threats just because you didn't get it at the time that you wanted it? Come on now, seriously. And I know we're all gamers here. We act like kids when we game, but seriously, grow up. Come on, this is ridiculous. So, that's just one of the main issues that I had with that. And then the second issue, which kind of hurts them on a financial level, is that CD Projekt Red, since this delay, its stock has dropped 25%. Now, this was reported by Yahoo Finance and a couple other finance sites. And, it doesn't really help, because, you've got all this excitement, and then you got this tension building and building and building, and the excitement and the anticipation for this game. Then it gets delayed, and then, it just knocks it a couple pegs back. Look, the game has been delayed. Stuff happens. But nevertheless, with this, it kind of hurts them financially too. But I do have a feeling that they'll bounce back from that. I think once the game is released and everybody has a wonderful time with it, people that, have been foaming at the mouth for this game gets the game, I think they're going to be absolutely fine, and their stocks will go back up. But that 25% hit, it hurts them a little bit, and they know it hurts them a little bit. And they were willing to take that risk to make sure that the game that they bring out is at its absolute best. They're talking near perfect. I mean, to me, there's no such thing as perfect, because if you want perfect, you gotta go to Jesus. But the point is, as long as they can continue to work hard, get the game ready, and then once it's released, you are good to go. You can play it, have a good time, and all is right with the world. So, let's not give them, let's not give them grief, people. Let's be patient. Let's just wait. Delays happen all the time. It's happened in gaming since the beginning of time. It is nothing new. So don't act like just because you didn't get it on the day that you want, that you're going to go out and send death threats and start, trying to start some mess, trying to be a keyboard warrior. Because I'll tell you what, you wouldn't be saying that stuff if you were right there in someone else's face, in that developer space. Try saying that in that developer space and see how far you get if they don't decide to knock you out first. So come on, let's be realistic here. All right. So, but anyway, you guys tell me what you think about the whole situation with Cyberpunk being delayed. I think it's a good thing, because this just gives them a chance to get things going and get things, the way they need to be. And like I said, I think the PlayStation, especially PlayStation 4 Pro version, is going to be perfectly fine. It's just the Xbox One. And that's one of the issues that you have to deal with too when dealing with these kind of delays, because you're having to downgrade the game that you originally intended it to do at max capacity. And now it has to take it has to not exactly get a watered down version, but you're getting a slow burn version of the game, especially on current gen consoles. But there's millions of gamers, not just for Xbox, but for PlayStation. And CD Projekt Red knows it. They're not going to, make it for just the new gen consoles, because then they lose out on all the money that they can get on the current gen consoles. So they're not going to do that. But again, you guys tell me what you think about the whole situation and give me your thoughts on that. So I think it's one of those stories that's going to, eventually just die down, and, everything will be forgotten and forgiven. And, it should be okay. Everything should be okay. This I wanted to discuss because I first played this game, Skull and Bones. It was supposed to have been released in 2018. So this was my first time going to E3, and E3 was absolutely amazing when I went back in 2018. And I had actually got my hands on a version and played it. It was on their computers though, which was fine. I had to get used to that. But I played the demo of the game and I absolutely loved it. Skull and Bones was like one of my most anticipated games for 2018, but the game never came out. Now, fun fact, when I was at the Electronic Entertainment Expo back in 2018, and I actually had an opportunity to play that game, I also got to play it with a couple of stars from a little TV show called Spartacus. And I had an opportunity to play with the guy who played Julius Caesar and the other guy who played Spartacus. So that was really, really cool. I think that was probably one of the most fun experiences. I have a photo of me taking a picture with both of those guys, but we all played together and we just had an absolute blast. So shout out to those guys. They were absolutely fun. But anyway, so the game had originally been delayed. Well, then a bunch of news came out. Now, this was also done by Ubisoft of Singapore. And the problem that Ubisoft ran into is that they either let go or fired a bunch of executives, producers, whoever, and it kind of sucked. So I think that really trying to get back into that transition, the game kind of just sat on the shelf in limbo somewhere. And I was wondering that for a long time, like, whatever happened to that game? Well, some news just recently surfaced about Skull and Bones. the game itself is now going through a re-reveal that they plan on doing next year. The new release date, tentatively, quote unquote, will be March of 2021. So the game is still coming out, and it's planning on coming out for Microsoft Windows, Xbox, and PlayStation. Mainly PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, of course. So the game is slated to still come out for those. Now, I also think this is a wonderful opportunity for Ubisoft to, when they do a re-reveal, also do a ramp up version for those, for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. I think this is a wonderful opportunity to really push this game out to the masses, especially on current gen and next gen consoles. And with the next gen, you could really push the power on that thing. But nevertheless, Ubisoft just had a whole bunch of issues. They've got a bunch of that stuff worked out, and things are actually pretty darn good with them. Now, Skull and Bones is a pirate game in which you and, you know, a fleet of other pirate ships band together, and you go through. It's almost like playing, what is it? World of Warships. It's kind of like that. So it's kind of have that vibe, except if you've got pirate ships, you get like special attacks and things like that. Like the ship that I had, one of the special attacks was that you could, like, if you were lined up just right, you could shoot like a whole bunch of cannon fire at one ship. And it's kind of cool because when the other ship takes a certain amount of damage, you can actually board that ship and you can hand-to-hand fight and take that ship over. So now you have an extra ship. It's really kind of awesome. And it was really, really an interesting game. And I was so excited for that game, but I hadn't heard from it in a while. So it's great to see that the game is getting another opportunity to be released. I hope things go well with it. And I know a lot of you guys have seen, you know, videos and things like that on Ubisoft's, you know, on their YouTube channel where they, you know, they've shown video from it. If you've ever seen the intro for it, or the cinematic for the game. And it's just a really interesting game. And I think you guys will really like Skull and Bones. And a lot of it, and it's cool because some of the developers were also the developers who did Assassin's Creed Black Flag, which did the part in that game where you're on a pirate ship, and they took a lot of cues from that and implemented it into this game. And I think that's one of the reasons why I had so much fun with it. So, you know, they took an Assassin's Creed game, or a part of a Assassin's Creed game, one of the sections, and then turned it into a fully fledged game of its own with the storyline and, you know, things of that nature. So I don't remember how many ships or how many players could be on there at one time as a team. I want to say last I knew it was like 12. It might have been 10. I don't remember. But nevertheless, you know, the game was super fun. I still can't wait for it to come out. I'm really excited, and I'm glad we got a new reveal date and a new launch date of March of next year. So it's going to be an exciting time. You guys tell me what you think. Have you seen anything dealing with Skull and Bones? Have you checked it out yourself? Did any of you go to E3 and actually play the game for yourself? You guys let me know what you think about that in the comment section below. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is kind of a short podcast. I didn't really have a whole lot except for those two main developing stories that's been going on. But I do want to say thank you so much once again for joining me here on the podcast. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Make sure, as always, you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel. Turn on that bell for our notifications and smash that like button. And make sure you check us out on Facebook, also at Platform Gamer Podcast. Check us out on Twitter and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Platform Gamer P1. Okay, just make sure you push P1. So it's Platform Gamer P1 for those two. And if you want to listen to us on our audio form, you can listen to us through Podbean and Spotify. Again, thank you guys so much for joining me here on the podcast today. Take care, and we'll see you next time.